We're continuing our coverage this morning of the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre. Hundreds of black people were killed or injured by a white mob during a two-day rampage which began on this day in 1921. More than 30 blocks of black-owned homes and businesses were destroyed. The violence was covered up for decades. Now the Greenwood Art Project is supporting a technology nonprofit to remember the businesses lost with a modern-day twist. Omar Villafranca joins us again from Tulsa. Omar, what an honor for you to be down there. Good morning.
Good morning. It absolutely is. And there was an estimated 200 businesses that were part of Black Wall Street who were destroyed during that massacre. But today, there's some Tulsa students who are developing a modern way to honor that legacy, but also learn some important tech skills. 100 years after it was burned to the ground, the legacy of Black Wall Street will continue, this time digitally, thanks to tech industry veteran and Tulsa native Michael Vaughn.
Hey, welcome, welcome.
And his students, the Urban Coders Guild, which teaches STEM skills to kids from underserved communities.
This was one of those crazy ideas that come to you at 2 a.m. There was a whole community of businesses that existed. And so the idea is that if those businesses existed in 2021, they would most likely have a website, they would most likely have a mobile app, and we're teaching kids to make websites, and we're teaching kids to make mobile apps, and so it made sense that we do this.
This is historicblackwallstreet.com, a collection of web pages for businesses including the Dreamland Theater, the Hotel Alexander, and the Red Wing Cafe, noted at the time for its swell electric piano.
You're not only giving them a computer science lesson, you're also giving them a history lesson.
Absolutely. My kids are learning, the web technologies, the mobile app technologies. But we partner with Tulsa Community College. They're doing the research. And then there was another group of people from Tulsa Community College that were doing graphic design and logos. And so this is a collaborative effort, very much in the spirit of Greenwood, very much in the spirit of Black Wall Street.
What do you want people who see this to get out of it?
I want them to understand the importance of our history.
Brother and sister Isaac and Raven Arterberry are two of 40 students in the Urban Coders Guild. Isaac researched Vernon AME Church, the only building that survived the massacre. What is it like creating something digitally, but also physically seeing a piece of it?
I think it's interesting that we're able to make it more permanent in a way. Because physically, it could be destroyed and all that, but when you make it digital, it basically lasts forever, which I think is really cool.
You can't burn that down.
No, you can't.
Brenda Nails Alford, a descendant of several survivors of the massacre, said she appreciates the work of students like the Arterberries.
It speaks volumes to the legacies that made Black Wall Street, and you all will carry on that legacy.
For your young coders, do you think this is connecting them to a past that a lot of people didn't talk about?
It's connecting them to a past for sure, but we also want to focus on connecting them to a future that maybe they didn't even imagine, a future working in tech, maybe being a coder.
Is this the next chapter of Black Wall Street?
I hope so. I would want it to be.
So far, there are only a handful of businesses in the directory, but they plan on adding more in the coming months. And this is not only just a tech lesson for these kids, Jerika, Michelle, and Anthony. This is also a history lesson because a lot of them are just learning about what happened here 100 years ago.
Yeah, it was a history that was just wiped out. I mean, in many cases, just not talked about or ignored.
Well, literally and figuratively.
This is such a great project because it actually, those kids are making this current by doing what they're doing. They're learning history, but they're also making it current. And as that one said, you can't burn this down. And it also brings it back into the conversation. And if those kids carry it forward, this story will not fade away again.
And that's the key.
No, it won't.